Hello, dear friends. Welcome to Golden Echoes Hub. I'm Charlotte, and I'm so glad you're here with me today. I've got a story for you, one that's close to my heart, about a time when I thought I'd lost something precious, but found hope in the most unexpected place. It's called The Doctor Who Saved My Legs at 70. So grab a cup of tea, settle in, and let's go back to a chilly spring morning in 2015. My name's Charlotte Harper. I'm 80 now, living in a cozy little cottage in Asheville, North Carolina, with a garden full of roses and a porch swing that creaks just right. But 10 years ago, I wasn't sure I'd ever see this place again, or walk through my garden without a cane. This is the story of how I got my legs back. And a little bit of my spirit, too. It all started in the spring of 2015. I was 70 then, still spry enough to tend my roses and take my daily walk around the block. I'd always been active. Back in my younger days, I'd hike the Blue Ridge Mountains with my husband Tom. God rest his soul. But that year, something changed. My knees started to ache. Nothing new for a woman my age, I thought. Just a little arthritis, maybe. I'd rub on some menthol cream, pop an aspirin, and keep going. But the pain got worse. It crept down my legs, into my calves, until every step felt like walking on broken glass. I tried to ignore it, kept telling myself, Charlotte, you're just getting old. This is what happens. But one morning, I couldn't even get out of bed. My legs felt heavy, like they were made of lead, and there was this sharp, burning pain shooting down to my toes. I called my daughter, Emily, who lives a few towns over. She drove straight to my house, took one look at me and said, Mama, we're going to the doctor, no arguments. Now, I've never been one for doctors. I'd rather brew a cup of chamomile tea and wait things out. But Emily wouldn't hear it. She bundled me into her car and off we went to the clinic in town. That's where I met Dr. Rachel Bennett, a young woman, couldn't have been more than 35, with a kind smile and a way of talking that made you feel like she really saw you. Dr. Bennett ran some tests, asked me a million questions about my habits, my diet, my walks. Then she sat me down and said, Charlotte, I think you've got peripheral artery disease. It's a condition where the blood vessels in your legs get narrow and it's keeping blood from flowing properly. That's why you're in so much pain. She explained it all so clearly. How my years of smoking in my 40s, back when I thought it was glamorous, might have played a part. How my diet, full of fried chicken and biscuits, wasn't helping either. I felt my heart sink. Is there anything we can do? I asked. My voice barely a whisper. I was terrified she'd say no, that I'd be stuck in a wheelchair, watching my roses from a window. Dr. Bennett smiled again, that same kind smile. Yes, there is. We've caught it early enough, but it's going to take some work, on both our parts. She laid out a plan. Medication to improve blood flow, a new diet with more greens and less butter, and a procedure called an angioplasty, if things didn't get better. She also gave me a little device, a fitness tracker, one of those fancy things you wear on your wrist. It'll help us keep an eye on your steps, she said. We'll start small, just a few minutes a day. I'll be honest, I wasn't sure I could do it. Changing my diet at 70? Walking when every step hurt? But Dr. Bennett had this way of making me believe in myself. She'd call me every week just to check in, asking about my roses or how I was liking the new recipes she had sent. Emily helped too, cooking meals, walking with me around the block, even when I could only manage a few steps before needing to sit. The first few months were hard. I'd wake up some mornings and cry. The pain was so bad, but slowly things started to change. The medication helped, and so did the walking, even if it was just to the mailbox and back. That little tracker on my wrist would beep when I hit my goal, and I'd feel a tiny spark of pride. Dr. Bennett was right there, cheering me on. "You're doing great, Charlotte," she'd say. "You're stronger than you think." By the end of that year, I was walking a full mile every day. The pain wasn't gone, but it was manageable, more like a dull ache than a sharp stab. I didn't need the angioplasty after all. Dr. Bennett said I'd turn things around just in time. I remember the day I walked into her office. No cane, no limp, and gave her a big hug. "You saved my legs," I told her, tears in my eyes. She just laughed and said, "No, Charlotte, you did that. I just gave you the map. Now, at 80, I'm still walking. I tend my roses every morning, and sometimes I even dance a little. Nothing fancy, just a sway to the old tunes Tom and I used to love. I think about Dr. Bennett often, how her kindness and that little tracker gave me back my freedom. It taught me something I wish I'd known sooner. It's never too late to take care of yourself, to fight for the life you want, even at 70. That's my story for today, dear friends. If you've ever had a doctor or anyone who gave you a second chance, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. Don't forget to check out the rest of our launch collection. There's a new story every 2 hours today. I'll see you at 10 a.m. for the next one. Take care, and thank you for listening.